Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of soul care.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Soul Care. And I am here. This is James. And for those who've never been on before, hello and welcome. I just got back from my trip to Santa Barbara. For 3 weeks, I was there, and it was kind of an R&R trip and kind of a refocused trip, change of perception, or just being open to whatever happens. So that's kind of what I did that. And I'm using my phone to connect today because my desktop is, of course, doing its own thing. So I'm here, and Renee is here. So we will do that. Let's see. So more I can do. Oh, good settings. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I was essentially today's show because I want to talk about my new course, which is really an important one for life as far as I'm concerned, and I wish it was available for me when I was just starting out. Um, it's when when I first moved here to Los Angeles, I was didn't know anybody. I came here, promised a job, and that fell through. And I didn't know a single person here, and I didn't know where to live or whatever. I finally found a place, an apartment to rent a little room in an apartment. And I remember it was that first year that I was here in Los Angeles, and I really came out here to be a sitcom writer. So what I wanted to do. So I didn't really have a clear focus of how I was going to get started, what I was going to do. And what I decided to do was take a Greyhound bus because my car wasn't good enough to drive up there to Santa Barbara from where I was in LA. I didn't trust it. And I took a Greyhound bus to Santa Barbara. It's the first year I got to California, to Los Angeles, because previously I'd been to San Francisco, had my degree in broadcasting. So I went to Santa Barbara, and I'd never been there before. And I went, walked around State Street, and it was a beautiful, quaint town. I loved it. I thought, wow, that's adorable. And I bought a journal. In those days, journals were just starting, blank journals. So I got a journal, and I'm also an artist, and that I like to paint with watercolor. So I got a watercolor kit and a little pad there, an art pad, and I went to the beach. Not knowing where to go, I went to the beach, and I painted the ocean and the clouds and palm trees. And then I decided to do a journaling, which I'd never done before. Never knew how to do it. Nothing psychic or intuitive. And that world didn't exist to me then. But I knew within me, because I think we're all born with a special ability, which is ourselves, which is our own power, our intuitive selves. And I think that that obviously led me to California, led me to this, the intelligence of the spirit world, as I often say, will bring us places and lead us places. So obviously it brought me to Santa Barbara and brought me to California, to Los Angeles, to pursue this journey. And it was so strange because I wouldn't have ever thought that this is how it was going to be done. But what I did was I sat on the beach and I made a list. And the list was 10 items in my life that I would like to accomplish in this new journey of mine, and kind of refocus and regroup. And I listed 10 different things. And one was, I remember, I wanted to help people in whatever way I can serve people. Number two, I wanted to be a writer. And I said, hey, I want to reach people with my writing, which I thought was sitcom writing. I want to help people. And the third one that was, I want to be financially secure. The fourth one was, I want to somehow be involved in my own work, be independently. Didn't want to work for someone else, really want to work for myself. And I remember one of the ones, the items was, I want to be spiritually aware. And I remember, I had no background. Only background was Catholicism and the sense of intuition, because I would see spirit when I was younger. But what I did was I wrote this list, and remember, what was the last one? I wanted children. Remember, I said I wanted children, and I remember writing. I said I want my writing to be well known. And I think that was the gist of it, those items. But it was pretty clear and specific with what my vision was, what I really wanted, and I put that out to the universe. And I think it was about a year, 2 years ago. I think when I first started, that's why I first started my course, mastery, my life course, my life coaching course, was based upon this experience. I found that journal 4 years ago, I think it was, and I had accomplished all of those items, every single one of them. Not the way I thought they would be accomplished. Like I was a writer, but I thought it'd be a sitcom writer or a television writer. No, I was a book writer. And the spirituality, obviously, we know about that. Helping people, we know about that. Financially independent, I have got that from my book, which is great, and continuing working. And then the one I didn't get was the children. So this is very interesting. Everything was accomplished because I put it out there and I started refocusing my life. And it was every day from writing those journal entries. I remember every day I thought about them, or I think I might have even taped up that page on a mirror in my bathroom. So I remind myself, and in my mindset, I put that out there. This is what I want to create. This, I want to create this, and that was before I knew anything on the intuitive level or spirituality, so forth. And all those things have come about, every single one of those, because I was a clear-cut change. And remember, this was done under transition of, I didn't know where I was going to work. I didn't have any job and my very little transportation. I had to figure things out. I did temporary jobs for a while. And it took a long time, but I was still focused on somehow it's going to happen. I don't know, but somehow it's going to happen. And I was always drawn to the spirituality of things. There was a bookstore in Los Angeles called the Bodhi Tree bookstore. And that was one that had all different topics of spirituality. And I remember I was drawn to that. I read many things on there. So all those items on my list were completed when I looked at this journal several years ago, except the children. And then I remember I wanted children. I remember probably 25, 30 years ago now, probably 30 years ago, when I went to see a psychic. It was right before mediumships before I became aware of it, of any of that. And this lady who was very psychic, I saw on cable television, right? Cable television in those days. It was only 5 channels. And this lady was out in part of Los Angeles in Riverside County. And she would work, she gave her phone number, and I went out to get a reading because I thought, this is interesting, I'm curious. She used a Ouija board to tune into your energy. So that was her way of tuning in. And I remember she said these things about me. She said, oh, you could be a comedian. I'm like, huh? She goes, you could be a comedian. And of course, now I know, I probably could. So that she goes, you have a lot of gifts. She goes, you're very spiritual. You're very much you're a hearer and a seer. You can see. And at that point, I really hadn't seen anything except from my childhood and my teenage years when I had experience of seeing spirit. So, and then she said a whole bunch of stuff, wrote it all down. It was pretty incredible now that I look back at it. But one thing she said to me, and I'll never forget this, she said, you want children? And I said, I do want children. She goes, you're not going to have them in this lifetime. The world will be your children. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? She goes, you won't understand this now, but later you will. Of course, now I do, because I have children, people from all over the world that I take care of, that I look after, and so forth. So it was pretty amazing that all of those items were really manifested in one way or another, very close to what I wanted. And that's when I started this course, the Life Coach course. So when I was, I just got back from Santa Barbara, right? So I just got back. And now is the time for great, great change. And when I was ill back in November, December, somebody heard this from my seminar the other day, but I really thought about doing those two courses, 28-day transformation course and also a life coach course, and put them together, but add a couple of things here and there and help to change people's trajectory of where they want to go to, what they want in their life. And I thought, it's a brand new year. And this would be perfect for a new year to get people back to, because I always get questions from people saying, how can I become more aware? How can I be more positive? Oops, something on me. Hello, fly. Go. There you go. I have a fly. You can go explore over there. There you go. And I just wanted to give people something that helped me in those years of manifestation, because I always get people saying, how can I manifest? How can I have this security in my life? So I wanted to tell you that I put together the 28-day transformation, which is a little different than life coaching course, but you start with the 28-day transformation, and even if you've done it before, you can redo it again with a different mindset. It really helps. And it is really important that you can come in that mindset, that you sit, it's like 10 minutes every day, and you open up your mind, and it helps to expand the mind. And the course was created from the spirit people. And they said, it's a progressive course. And I said, what does that mean exactly? They said, we give you information one day, and it builds on the next day, and it builds on the next day, and so forth. And at the end of the 28 days, you'll have a sense of mastery, a sense of who you are in a very different way. And everyone that's done it has said that. And I put that together, I married together the Mastering Your Life Coach course. So they're two together. And I've added some new aspects to both those courses. So I'm offering that now. It's a special offer right now. I just started today to put it on in the school that you can actually buy it. So it's all ready to sell. And I added to assessment. There are 10 calls, I believe there are, 8 regular calls, and 2 assessment calls where I give exercises and assess the group. So I just wanted to let you know that's also happening. And I assess the energy of the group. I assess where you're at as far as the group following. I do many exercises there. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's available today at the JP School of Mystical Arts. And that's that. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. I'm going into comments. There we go. Now I can see you guys. Join the chat. Okay. So I'm doing this from my phone. It's hard to understand it. But I see Nancy. Oh, thanks. Renee put up the link there for the course. Mastering, yep. Master Coach, Life Coach. Yep. There it is. Good. Hi, Deb from Nebraska. Nancy from Canada. Missouri. James. Hi, James in the UK. How are you? Martha Riggins. Very nice to see you. So that's so good. Oh, great. Okay, great. That's fantastic there. Okay. So I don't want to press any more buttons because I'm afraid what's going to happen here. So chat with everyone in the studio. Okay, let's chat. Hi, everyone. Hi. There is. Okay. Why did I do the course now? Well, I created this because when I was ill, as I mentioned, double pneumonia, it came across really strong to me that, you can't live for tomorrow, you got to live for today. And life is made up of moments. And I know that we are all creative beings. We're all God. We're all that God light, that God power. But I think a secret in life, which there are many, it's just, it's the game of life, but you have to know how to play it, is having a sense of who you are. And when people know who they are, their world around them completely changes. And I will tell you that I'm a living proof of that. And I think I came in with that awareness that you have to have that sense of who you are, that power within, in order for things to happen in your life. Things don't happen out there. It's like going in here first. Going in here, having that sense of who you are, having that sense of the power that you are as a soul, and how to manifest. So that's what this course does. And that's what I wanted to portray. So when I was ill, I said, I want to give people something that put these, I understand the two courses together, but it gives them the tools and the skill set to do it. And I was thinking, wow, I remember I wrote a book. I talked about this the other day in my seminar. I was doing this webinar. And I'm going to repeat it because it's really important. I wrote a book many years ago called Unfinished Business. And I wrote that book because there were people, the spirit people that came through all the time in demonstrations. They kept on having regrets and resentments. And it was all about how they didn't take time in life to manifest what they wanted, to live in their own world. Many of them were living a life, they feel they wasted their life because they were living other people's reality, what other people wanted instead of themselves, or they didn't have a sense of who they were, and they really wanted to have a relationship with themselves, and they wish they did. And there was kind of regrets because they didn't take the chances in life. So I wrote Unfinished Business, so I would change that way of thinking, that paradigm for people out there, thinking grandiose, of course, because when people have that realization that within them and within their mindset that you can create whatever you want, might not happen the way you think it's going to happen, as it didn't happen my way, the way I thought. None of it happened the way I thought it would happen, but I had that clear set of what I wanted, those goals, and it came in other ways. So it's all happening. The human says no, God says yes. So I just want to text it. It's transformation. So now is a very good time to bring about for the beginning of the year. I talked to my friend Kelly White, and who we'll see tonight on Both Sides Now. Tonight we're going to have a psychic artist, by the way. So you got to check him out, James LeBlanc, and he's very well known as from the art field. I'm going to a gallery he's doing a gallery opening tomorrow. He's on all over the world. So he's going to talk about intuitive art. That's tonight on Both Sides Now. So, but I wanted a way that people could really start tuning into their power, their soul self, their soul power. Instead of that earthly outside stuff, go inside. So that's what it's about. So any questions, everybody? I think I've been speaking a lot. Well, there we go. Valerie, when a loved one passes, that is general timing of their life review. What is the general timing of their life review? Thanks. Hi, Valerie. Well, it's from my experience of from my sister passing, from other clients passing, it happens pretty quickly. It doesn't, but remember, in that world, that dimension, there's no time. So we can't say it happens in half an hour, it happens in 1 month. It seems to happen very quickly, spontaneously. Now, the funny thing you say that, again, when I went to Santa Barbara, it was kind of a reflective kind of experience for me. It was R&R. It was to look at, again, how changing things around, getting message out to more people. I want to change their minds. And I remember my sister comes to me on the way driving home, and I asked about that, exactly that, your life review. And she showed me these four flaps of a box, right? And one was closing in on the other one, and on the other one, and I came up to the other, and they were all pictures. And I knew that there was all the moments in the life, and they were shown like that. So I think it happens one right after the other, almost spontaneously. And in that dimension, not only do you see it, but you feel it. You feel it fully. So, and you feel it from the other person's point of view. So if you said something that wasn't very nice, you're going to feel the energy of what you left that person with, how they felt. Because we're all connected. We're all completely together as one in truth. This world is truth, the world of separation. Here we have, this is the illusion world, where we think that we're separate, but we're not. We're together. We just speak different languages and different skin color and live in different places. We think we're separate, we're not. We choose those different nationalities, skin color, belief systems, because we have to learn various lessons for our soul, and it would learn better, optimally, if they took on that nationality or that position in life. So, but when you pass out of this three-dimensional physical world, you open up to that oneness that we're all connected, every single person. And you are, that's why war is so horrible, because we're just killing ourselves. It's just dirtying our own selves. So I wish, it's the number one thing I wish I could get out to the world, not only life after death, but having that responsibility for how you treat other people, because it's going to meet you when you pass over. Okay. Long answer, but I had to get it out. Okay, thank you. Martha Riggins, how do you learn to accept loved ones passing? Martha, it's a human experience that we all have to go through. The one important way it's helped me is to realize there is no death, and they're free of that. They're free of this physicality. They no longer have to go through this physical hardship, denseness, but they're very, very free. And it happens so like a blink of an eye, you're out of the body. And that's our true nature. This is not our true nature. So having awareness that there is no death frees things up. Having an awareness also that they are around you. The love never dies, and they're watching you. They're still connected with you on a day-to-day basis. We say time-wise, but we're always connected with them. I don't think we fully understand that connection until we pass over, because it goes beyond this third-dimensional reality. So when we say they're always with you, they are, but it's not like we can sense it here. It's not like a reality we have here. It's a different reality. Like we right now are with them. I've often said it, 70% of your soul is outside the body on those other levels. Well, what are they doing, right? And only 30% of the soul is inside here. So that's another way to realize that you're connected with them all the time. And really, you are a soul having a human experience. And, being a human, hard lesson is a grief. Grief is a very hard lesson, but it's a good one because you learn things. You become your perspective changes. How you treat other people will change. How you treat yourself will change. How you honor that person. How you honor yourself. And once you start realizing the oneness, we're all connected, it changes as well. So realize there is no death, and your loved one, you'll see them again because they don't leave, they're around us, and that you have to finish your work here. Think of it as a school. And there are certain classes you have to take. And when we all take the different classes that we have to take with all the different teachers we experience, and it's our time to graduate, we leave this physical shell and move back home. And all of our loved ones come to get us and help us over. So, and they're inspiring us every day. They inspire us all the time. When I was driving back from Santa Barbara, I had several weird stuff going on. One of them was on the way up to Santa Barbara. I was talking to my friend Kelly, and who was on the show tonight, her show with me, Both Sides Now and Beyond. And I remember I was talking to her and I said, "Oh, Kelly, you're never going to believe this." I said, "What?" And I said, "There are billboards and it says, 'Sweet James.'" And then, I don't know, a mile later, "Sweet James," like 3 or 4 times. These billboards says "Sweet James." It's weird stuff. So when you have those synchronistic experiences, those coincidences, you realize, wow, this is the universe, the way that the intelligence of the spirit world is beyond the human. So, okay. Salagma Kendless, I believe. James, why has one do people do us down and get away with it? Okay, so when people do us bad things, doesn't get away with it. I always say God has no blinkers, but honestly, bad seems to be on the up. Sweetheart, I agree in many respects. Listen, when I drive, I just took to Santa Barbara. People are flipping me the bird, and because I wouldn't go fast enough, yeah, they're on the right in my tail of my car. Which a lot of changes. A lot of people are angry out there now. I think COVID started that whole thing. The people that go inside their houses, and then technology grew, and people got so plugged into that they're very narrow focused. They're not focused on the bigger picture. They're narrow focused on themselves, on their own tech devices. When I went to the dog park up in Santa Barbara, everybody's playing with, looking on their phones instead of playing with their dogs. I'm like, huh? What is that about? Even I was coming back home and stopped through Beverly Hills, Coldwater Canyon. There's a park there, and I bring Pearl out, and they're lovely kids, toddlers, and people around. And a lot of the parents are sitting there on their phones, and I'm like, what? So people have come very much that way, and it's sad that it seems there's a license to have bad behavior, and that's not right. And I insist that we keep manners, responsibility for how we can't take care of other people, but we can just do the best thing that is the right thing for us. Treat others as you want to be treated. I just say the golden rule is what works. So again, yes, it's not a great time out there, but you can't control the macrocosm, but you certainly can control the microcosm, and that will affect the macrocosm. Okay. Thanks, sweetheart. Crystal Burgess. Oh, it's our second anniversary since Megan passed. Blessings to you. Megan is around, I'm sure. I read your brother in Encinitas. Oh, great. I'm having another gathering in Encinitas coming up in March or April. I'm not sure. I'm fixing it today and tomorrow, so I'll let you know about that. Gabrielle Dudjan. I recently listened to yours and Kelly's show on numerology. Wasn't amazing? As you were discussing the number 3, I looked up and it was 3:33 p.m. There you go. I couldn't believe it. I've been seeing 111 for many years now, which means new beginnings, new openings. Isn't it incredible? So once you open up your mind, Gabrielle, to that possibility of the numerology, of those numbers are power and mean something, this measurement of the universe, and you had that within your mind, then you were focused, or you just happened to, however it worked, whether it was your higher self, the spirit world, took your mind to look at a certain thing, and it was that time. So those coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous, I often say. And when we start tuning into, again, that's why I'm doing this course. I want to get people to get back into their power. So once you get into that sense of who you are, your soul self, all these things are happening and manifestation occurs. So, so as I look at the clock over there, the fly that was earlier is now sitting on 6 o'clock, and is going, I'm like, hello. Now, could a fly be a spirit? Yeah, I think they use insects and birds and all different ways science get through. And this fly, it's a big room I'm in here, has not been anywhere right around this desk and on my clock. Is it something? I don't like to make things fit. I will not do that. But sometimes when things are out of this ordinary, you're like, okay. And the clock is the second hand on it. So it's very strange. Okay. Yes, Marianne says it's such a slump. January. That's why you have to take. That's why I'm introducing this course now, because it's changing your mindset. It's opening up your mind, and the world around you is going to change and shift. Right? It's going to change and shift. So, for instance, here's one from the course. Everybody, close your eyes for just a second. I'm going to give you a quick little mind journey. So just close your eyes, and as you close your eyes and close them to the outside world, you open them to the inner world of light. And remember, as you close those eyes, that they go deep. We go deep within to your heart space, and feel the energy of your soul power, and feel that energy as the heart pumps the blood. Feel that like light, just pumping light, and this awareness of light comes to you, that you are this being of light, and there's no limitation of your light. Your light flows out in all directions, and below you in all directions, this side in all directions, and that heart is the God center, that God light. Good. Take a deep breath into that center, into the nose, and out the mouth. And one more time, into the nose, and out the mouth. And one more time, and in, and out. Good. And now I'd like you to imagine that you are a tree. Envision yourself as a tree. Whatever tree you feel that you are. It can be any kind of tree, elm tree, pine tree, birch tree, any type of tree, sycamore tree, anything that you can comes to you first. And imagine that this tree is on a mountain, that you are on a mountain. Your tree is on a mountain. And I want you to feel yourself that you're a tree on this mountainside. Become aware of the terrain. Become aware of the mountain, how it feels. Become aware of the atmosphere, what does it look out upon. And as you are that tree, and standing in your tree self, becoming aware of the roots of the tree, the thickness of the bark of the body of the tree, and the branches extending, and perhaps there are flowers or tree leaves, however it means to you. I just want you to be secure on that mountainside. Good. And on that mountainside now is a change in temperature. There's all of a sudden a fall. You find that your tree is losing its leaves. It's losing its leaves, and soon the entire mountainside is filled with leaves, fallen leaves, and autumn takes place, and things prepare to go to sleep. Good. Now we move, becoming aware that the atmosphere changes and gets cooler, and soon snow begins, and winter starts. And you close down and sleep inside, but you're still there. Good. And as you restore your energy in the darkness of the winter, all of a sudden you become aware that there's a light, a bright sunlight on the mountainside, and it starts warming you up and opening you up. And it's springtime and begin to unfold, and perhaps budding and seeds and flowers eventually flying that beautiful sunlight, that warmth, that beautiful warmth. And then you might find that all of a sudden there's all this rain and windy storms around the mountainside, but you're still there. And then eventually you find that there's a hot sun and it becomes summertime. And you can see that there are certain flowers that or certain plants that are too hot for them and they're starting to fall down. But they're still there and the conditions are changing. Good. So slowly, I just want you to become aware now of one of those seasons that you are, the seasons of time, and see yourself in that space. Good. And now go back to that heart space of light and inhale. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. And that beautiful light never leaves. And realize that you have the power within your being to create the life you want. You just might need a reminder of the greatness of yourself. So when you feel centered and calm, slowly open up your eyes and be as one. So think about that. So you are the tree. I don't know what kind of tree you are. Anybody want to share what kind of tree you are? Let's see. Adalita says, thank you for being such an open, honest light of integrity for others. Thank you. Holding space. Oak tree, pine tree, strong trees, right? Willow, good, easy to go and bend. Maple tree, very good. Willow tree, pine tree. Christmas tree, great. So it's pine, oak, maple, very good. Willow, huge. Oak is down completely, in their thing, grounded, and Bigfoot went by you. It's good, Ken. So what I wanted to say with that, so you are a tree. Notice what happened. You were always that tree, whether it was through summer, fall, you lost your leaves, winter, slowed down, and spring coming back again. The conditions around you change. The sky changed, the weather changed, even the ground changed, but you remain the same. You might have went to sleep. There might have been some things that rocked you back and forth and threw you, but you're still very cemented in that mountain. You're there. You're grounded. And that's the same as us. That's who we are. We're trees on this earth. And the conditions around us can shift and change. And there'd be some negative things in society or wars or negativity around people, but it shouldn't affect you. We shouldn't allow it to affect us. We should be so strong within our being and have a sense of who we are that the outside conditions should not affect us. We want to be in control of that and empowering that. And that's, again, another reason why I put the course together. So I hope you'll join me for these webinars. So go to the JVP School of Mystical Arts and sign up. I think there's a special deal happening right now, the next couple of days. So you are not, my tree was an oak. Oh, I don't know. Cherry tree. Japanese would say. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your help. Yep. All right, I think that's it. So we'll see you tonight. So tonight's show is Both Sides Now and Beyond with myself and Kelly White. And that is at 6:00 with the psychic artist James LeBlanc. Very fascinating, incredible work about vibration and color. And I think you'll enjoy it. So we'll see you later tonight, everybody. Okay. Thank you for joining me. And we'll see you around the universe. Bye-bye.